Hey guys, what's up? Nick here once again, and today we're going to be going over my thoughts after playing the Modern Warfare 3 beta this past weekend, and essentially if I think you guys should shovel out the $70 asking price for this upcoming game. Also, really quick, I just want to say I know this isn't my usual content, and I know I don't normally make a ton of Call of Duty content on this channel, and I know this video isn't going to get a lot of views, but if you are watching this video, I just want to say thank you for being here and for giving this new kind of content a chance. And if you would like, please let me know in the comment section below on any other future games you would like me to check out and possibly do a review for, because I would like to get more into game reviews and stuff in the future. But with that, let's get into it. So, this is gameplay taken from my live stream just the other day of me trying out the beta on PC. I also did play it on PS5 the weekend prior, just for a couple hours to get a feel for the game before my preferred version on the PC. I am definitely not a console gamer or a controller player, so as you can see here, I'm using keyboard and mouse. And honestly, if I was to wrap everything up into one sentence, I would say that I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Modern Warfare 3. Obviously, there are some things, though, that could be improved, and there are some things that I really like, especially coming from Modern Warfare 2 from last year. For me personally, I'm not a huge Call of Duty, like, diehard or professional player by any means. I have always been a pretty casual player, but that being said, I have put my fair share of hours into Call of Duty. Like, if I went back and looked at my Steam profile, I probably have well over 200 plus hours in almost every Call of Duty that's come out on Steam. But needless to say, I've been a fan of Call of Duty all the way back from COD. I think it was COD 2 was the very first one I played, and I literally have played every single one since then. I purchased them right at the day of release. There has not been a Call of Duty that I have missed. However, last year was the first time where I really started to say, you know what, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to give into the hype. I'm not going to pre-order it. I'm not going to fall into the same trope. It's going to be trash. But then the beta came out, and I really liked the beta. And this is, by the way, is Modern Warfare 2, last year's game. I really enjoyed the beta, so I said, screw it. I'll put in the money. I'll pre-order it. I'll buy it. The game came out, and it was fun for like a week, and then they just died. Like, they killed the multiplayer. Because Infinity Ward only seems to care about Warzone at the moment, and it seems like that's what Activision and everything's putting their money at as well. And I'm sorry, but Battle Royales are just, it's a dying fad. I really don't see them lasting very much longer. Nobody even talks about Fortnite anymore. I mean, that's the biggest one, right? PUBG is pretty much dead. Apex Legends is on the way out. I don't really see Battle Royales continuing for another few years. I mean, we'll be lucky if we see those games in 4 years from now. So that being said, the funny thing that they're putting all this time into Warzone is just really stupid in my opinion. DMZ was kind of interesting. I wish they would have put more time and effort into that, because I actually did have a lot of fun with DMZ last year. But the multiplayer is the reason I buy Call of Duty, the main 6v6 multiplayer. I don't even play Ground War. It's just 6v6. Just give me that. With smaller to medium maps, I'm good to go. But the issue with Modern Warfare 2 last year was the gameplay felt very slowed down compared to every Call of Duty prior. I mean, 2019 was a huge, like, resurgence of Call of Duty for me. I absolutely loved 2019. I had a lot of fun with Modern Warfare, but then it had some issues where there was a lot of weapons that were broken, the maps were too big, there was too many doors, too many windows, it was just too many campers. There was a lot of stuff like that that ruined the experience, but I could get past that, you know, I could look past that and still have a good time with it. But then Cold War came out, and that was a whole nother story of just bullshit, with SBMM just being ramped up that much worse, to where, if you guys don't know what skill-based matchmaking is, essentially it's just you play a couple games, an algorithm kicks in to put you or match you with players of your skill level. And so if you are a tryhard, or if you are really good at the game just in general, even if you're not trying, you're going to be put against sweaty players almost every other game. And it'll put you against these sweaty players until you get your ass completely destroyed, and it'll give you one free game where you're going against bots, basically. So you can just destroy them, and then it's a rinse and repeat. It's no fun. It's just, I can't really explain it. It's just exhausting at this point. Everybody knows about SBMM if you're a fan of Call of Duty, and you've heard it a million times from now, and it's going to continue. It's sadly just the way of the future with these games. And I understand it from a marketing perspective, as technically it does cater to casual players, but this is coming from a casual player. I mean, yes, I'm not as casual as some others are going to be, but I'm nowhere near a hardcore Call of Duty player or like a professional player where I have a 2 KD or anything like that. I'm not that good. But I can easily still say that as a casual player, I don't have fun with skill-based matchmaking because it literally is what I just stated. It's like 2 or 3 games in a row where you just get destroyed, you're having a terrible time, and you get one good game. And that one good game brings you kind of back into the flow of it, just to be brought back down again with the next one where you go against 3 players of the same skill as you for 3 more games, and then again, rinse and repeat. It's super annoying, it just ruins the experience, and everybody has complained about it. I just really, really, really hope that Sledgehammer Games takes this into account, and they don't need to get rid of skills-based matchmaking, but just dim it down, you know, bring it back to how it was back in the Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 days, the originals. It's just, it sucks nowadays that we're stuck with this skill-based matchmaking that just seems to ruin the entire experience. Now, putting that aside, talking about the actual beta and my thoughts on it. I'm not going to go into every little tiny nook and cranny detail because a lot of it honestly is carried over from Modern Warfare 2 from last year. That's why a lot of people are saying this is just a DLC pack and this is not worth $70. But I have to look at this, let's say, as a DLC pack, right? Let's say they brought over everything from Modern Warfare 2. There is no differences. Just in terms of new content, we're getting 16 remastered levels from Modern Warfare 2, the original, which that alone, in my opinion, is worth the upgrade. It's worth the money because I love these levels. I know them like the back of my hand. Yes, this can also be looked at as a negative because they're not brand new. There's nothing new to find here. It's just, what are the differences from the original? And from what the beta showed me, not really much at all. It's pretty much just a carbon copy of the original level, just upgraded graphics, which I'm fine with that. I actually am glad they went that route because if they would have changed the maps up way more than they needed to, it would have ruined the flow and it would have been really no reason to bring them back, in my opinion. So I'm on the fence of saying I think this is a good thing. I like these levels. Modern Warfare 2 is my favorite game in the series in terms of the multiplayer, so I am fine with this decision to bring all those levels back. That's the main drawing point, I think, for this game is the nostalgia factor of, hey, we have all of these returning maps from the OG Modern Warfare 2 that you guys loved, and they're completely remastered, but they're all the exact same. They flow the exact same as they used to. Have fun. And I think it's kind of genius because it's kind of working. At least on me, it's working. But even playing them today, I gotta say that they still work really well, but they do feel different because of the game surrounding the levels. Because obviously there's different movement than we had back in the day. There's different kill streaks, different gunplay. It's a whole new engine. So the game, of course, feels different than when you play those maps back in the OG Modern Warfare 2. But that being said, this game still plays really well. I think the gameplay slash gunplay is the best asset of Modern Warfare 3, at least at the moment. I don't really have any complaints when it comes to the gameplay. I don't have complaints when it comes to how the guns feel, how the sound effects feel or sound. All of that I think is great. I didn't really have any complaints there. My one complaint though, if it was related to gameplay aspects, is the visibility. And a lot of people have said the same thing. Yes, there was instances where I ran into a teammate and I thought it was an enemy. I put like half a clip in him. I'm like, why is he not dying? Then I realized it is a friendly character. That happens pretty often, and apparently it's happening to everybody. It's not just me. I have a 4K monitor that's running at 144 hertz. It's 30 inches, so I don't think it's my monitor. I don't think it's my setup. It's just the game. It has very poor visibility for enemy players and your teammates' players, so that needs to be addressed. I don't know how they could really fix that. I think the biggest issue is because of the operator system. So you can buy skins that you can run around as, and the problem with this is both enemies and your teammates can have the same skins, which just becomes an issue, in my opinion. I wish they would just go back to the way it was when there was 2 factions that were clearly differentiated from each other and you knew who the enemy looked like and you knew who your teammates were. You didn't have to worry about name tags. Everybody's saying just put a name tag on top of their head. That's huge. But I also think that'd be a detriment because it might block some much needed vision behind that text above their head, right? So I think they could go back to the drawing board and just make them brighter. I don't know, do something to give some type of outline to the characters a little bit to make it easier to see, especially for far distance shooting. But other than that, in terms of gameplay, I mean, the way it feels and runs and everything is great. I don't really have many complaints whatsoever. I like that we have both the ability to slide and to dolphin dive in this game. It really adds an extra layer of, I don't know how to really explain it. It's just an easier way to get away from the battle, I guess. Also, with the higher time to kill was a bold, but in my opinion, well-received choice. I think that was the way they should have gone. I wasn't a fan of how fast the TTK was in Modern Warfare 2. It just was a little bit too quick for my liking. Yes, I understand Infinity Ward has always been known for the very fast time to kill, but I think this just works better with this new engine to have a little bit extra hits involved. It's kind of in between Cold War and Modern Warfare's time to kill, if that makes sense. It's like perfectly in the middle. And yeah, it feels good. I mean, some people can complain it's too slow, so it takes too many shots and it gets annoying if you have a gun that's weaker than the other one. But then on the other side, there's people saying it's actually good because if you have better aim, you're more than likely going to win a gun battle than someone just spraying and praying. And I am on that side as well. I think it makes more sense to reward the more skilled player in a fight than someone just spraying and praying, especially with shotguns and stuff like that. The shotguns in the beta, I think they could get a little bit of a buff, in my opinion. They definitely seemed a little bit on like the weaker side, where it took usually 2 shots to kill somebody from point blank range. But on the other hand, I'm also kind of glad that shotguns aren't broken. Do you guys remember the 7.25 in 2019? God, that was insane how broken that gun was, and it took like months to get fixed. And it does seem that Sledgehammer is listening to the community so far. I mean, in the beta alone, they did a few major updates from one weekend to the other to fix a lot of the things people were talking about, which was great to see. And I really hope they take a lot of what the community is saying into question and make this the best Call of Duty we've gotten in years. Because, yeah, just gameplay alone in the beta, I can easily say this is the best COD that we've had in the last 4 years. Because even though, like I stated, it does feel like a DLC pack to Modern Warfare 2, they did at least increase the speed of the actual movement. And this has been the talk of the town, I feel like, is just, oh, they brought back slide canceling, oh, it feels faster to mantle, oh, you can slide quicker. And this is all true. Like, they did bring back a lot of these aspects to make the game feel quicker. This one really does feel like a successor to Modern Warfare 2019. I will say the slide canceling is a little slower, though, than that game even, but all around, it still feels the same in terms of that gameplay. Whereas Modern Warfare 2 just felt way too slow. Way, way, way too slow. And that was the biggest issue I had with it that made it feel really boring, on top of the really shitty maps. But the fact that we got more faster gameplay / movement on top of 16 amazing levels that we all know and love that will be good, that right there is more than enough to make me happy. Not only that, they brought back Dead Silence as a perk. It's no longer a field upgrade, so you can put on these boots that essentially make your footsteps literally quiet, like just straight up silent. Even if you're full on sprinting with tac sprint, which wasn't even a thing in the past, I think, 4 or 5 CODs. Where even as a field upgrade, if you use Dead Silence, if you used the tactical sprint, you would still hear a little bit of footsteps. Not the case here. You are dead silent, just like the perk says. And I love that. I'm glad they brought that back. Some people are complaining, saying that's bullshit. I can't hear when someone's coming up behind me. Well, I'm sorry, bud. Don't camp. You know, be aware of your surroundings. Just like in the old days, you had to be aware. And there was a meta to the actual classes. Most people used Dead Silence for a reason, and that's what they're going to be doing this time around. So I hope they don't mess with that. I hope they keep it the way it is. Do not listen to the people complaining about it, because if they make Dead Silence nerfed, like if they make it so you can hear footsteps even if you're at tech sprint or whatever, it's gonna ruin it. It just is like, why even put the perk there? So yeah, Dead Silence is back. Really happy to see that. Now, I did already bring up gunplay a little bit, but I didn't go into detail. Even if you don't have any attachments on the guns, they feel like you have a lot more control over them. Especially, there's no muzzle flare blocking your vision, which is so good to see. And in terms of control, like, it just doesn't feel like guns have nearly as much kickback as they did last year. So that's awesome to see. It feels way more like a classic Call of Duty, because it's meant to be an arcade shooter. It's not meant to be realistic. And I felt like these last few CODs, they were just going too far down that rabbit hole of realism and kind of going away from what made Call of Duty as fun as it was. So this so far seems like a way bigger step in the right direction. Killstreaks, I think, are kind of a bummer at the moment. At least from what we saw in the beta, they really didn't give us a whole lot. At least in terms of killstreaks that give you kills. A lot of them were defensive killstreaks in a way, where it was like UAV, counter UAV. One of the cooler ones, though, was this little drone you shoot up in the sky, and it just kind of drives around in a circle, and if it sees somebody, it dive bombs on them. And I got a couple, like, triple kills with that thing. It was pretty insane how strong it is. So I would like to see that one return. It was pretty dope. I also like the addition of, instead of a semtax, which they do have semtaxes, by the way, but just in general with a lethal weapon, you have the ability to choose a little drone that it just, essentially just shoots out in a straight line in front of you, and then it blows up on contact. They're probably going to nerf it because it's pretty broken. Like, I literally have gotten double kills, triple kills, you name it, very easily by just sending it through a doorway, and it would just fly straight through and explode. So they might make it to where there's a bigger hitbox on it to destroy it easier. Maybe it'll fly slower. I don't know what they're going to do, but there's no way that's going to stay the way it is, because it is very broken, but is extremely fun to play. So I like that addition, little drone guy. I hope they keep it the way it is, but I highly doubt it. Kind of looking at the menu system, the UI is pretty much a carbon copy from last year. Sadly, I wish they would go away from this horizontal menus. It just looks so gross. People have said that apparently one of the creators of Hulu, or whoever designed Hulu's interface, is the person who made the interface on here, and it really shows, because both are ugly as fuck, and they're very confusing to new players, and it's still just as confusing this time around. I kind of hope they do a whole rehaul of this for the next Call of Duty. I doubt they're going to do it here, but a guy can wish. That being said, though, the gunsmith, thank God, is back to only 5 attachments, so it's way less convoluted. I didn't see any type of weapon tuning or anything in the beta, but I think I heard rumors that they are bringing it to the full game. I don't think we need any of that. The weapon tuning and stuff like that is just stupid as hell. It doesn't need to be in Call of Duty. Again, they're going way towards the realism stuff that doesn't need to be there. I honestly wish we could just go back to just the one attachment system that we had like in Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, where it was like 1 or 2 attachments. Like you put a laser sight and a silencer. That's all you need, and you're good to go. I just wish they would go back to those days, man. I like the gunsmith in a way. You know, it makes it so your classes feel a little more customizable compared to your friends. They look cool switching up all the different attachments, but it just gets way too convoluted when there's so many attachments in the game, especially right off the bat to unlock. There's like 30 plus attachments per gun. It just gets way too complicated, and it gets to a point where you're like, does this change any stats? I don't know. I'm gonna swap this part out, and you just get to a point where, yeah, it's not fun anymore. It's just confusing, and I kind of just wish they would get rid of it. In terms of weapons, in the beta, we didn't have a whole lot to choose from. We got like our typical like SCAR weapon, like a UMP-45, a couple other assault weapons, some LMGs, a couple sniper rifles to try out, marksman rifles, the whole 9 yards, and I get a couple shotguns. I gotta say though, there wasn't really a gun that stuck out to me as like really overpowered. They did bring back the ACR though. I think it's called the MCW or MCM. I can't remember what it was called in the game, but somebody will probably correct me in the comments. But the ACR is back, and it is just as amazing as I remembered in Modern Warfare 2 back in the day. It's very accurate. It's got a really high rate of fire. It's just a little bit on the weaker side. But if you have decent aim and you get headshots, you can beam people with this gun. It feels so good. So that was probably my highlight of the whole beta, was getting to use the ACR again. The other highlight is the sniper rifles. At least one of them. I don't know about the other one. I feel like one of them was way weaker than the other. But the main sniper rifle that had the most damage was insanely broken. I think they are going to nerf it, at least maybe make the rate of fire slower. I don't really know. But it was like, you could shoot a dude in the stomach and above, and it was a one-shot kill, and you could also rapid fire it, like the Barrett 50 cal in Modern Warfare 2. It was insane how broken that thing was. I've seen so many compilations on Twitter of people just going ham with that sniper rifle with a laser sight. Just the ADS is super fast this time around, thank God. We're back to the arcadey sniper rifle. Hopefully we can get some more montages coming out from like Jev or something. That'd be super cool to see. So yeah, I think sniping is officially back this time around. I just hope they don't nerf it to the ground. Like I said, I do think they do need to nerf that one sniper rifle a little bit in terms of maybe make it a chest and above one-shot kill, or maybe make the rate of fire a little slower. Just something to make it more fair. But that being said, I am totally fine with one-shot snipers. I'm totally fine with the ADS being really quick. I love seeing that. So I hope we can get back the sniping montages and make sniping just a lot more fun in Call of Duty than it has been in the past like 5 years. I know I'm kind of jumping all around the place here, and I do apologize about that, but coming back to the kill streak, so what I meant to talk about there was, yes, we got the new drone thing, but otherwise all the rest of them are pretty lame. The only kill streaks that you can get right now, at least in the beta, that do any type of extra kills was this one that's kind of like a Harrier strike without the Harrier afterward, or a precision airstrike, I guess is the right one to call it. It's just like 3 little bombs, you choose where they go, they blast on the ground, and you get kills that way. Pretty, you know, typical of what we're used to in old Call of Duties. And then the last or biggest kill streak you can get in the beta was Juggernaut. But it really wasn't that great. I actually got it a couple times while playing, because I think it's only like 6 kills to get it. It was pretty little. But once you got it, you're very slow. You have like a shotgun, you have a riot shield, and you can take a lot of hits. So I got a couple kills with the Juggernaut, but it wasn't anything insane. I mean, everybody just kind of hounds you until you're dead. So I've never liked the Juggernaut kill streak personally in Call of Duty, but you know, it's here. I just wish we would see more things like the Predator missile return. I want to see the Harrier strike, the Pavlo. They do have the nuke, by the way. It's not a kill streak, though. It's just a regular nuke that we've seen the last couple Call of Duties. So I think it's 25 kills, gun kills, not related to kill streaks, but if you get 25 gun kills in a row, you get the tactical nuke. So you don't have to put it as your kill streak or anything, but it is there in the game at least. So that was cool to see. But I just wish the kill streaks themselves were a little bit more powerful. I want to see more kill-related kill streaks. Like, I just want to get, like, 30 kill streak, 40 kill streak, you know what I mean? Like, I want to bring that feeling back. Connection-wise, I didn't really have any issues with servers. I felt like it was pretty lag-free for the most part. I actually feel like the net coding for the accuracy of the bullets and stuff like that, like in gunfights, felt pretty damn good. From what I remembered from the past few years, it's been kind of shoddy here and there, but throughout the entire beta, I don't have any complaints about like, oh, I shot first and this guy killed me. None of that, thankfully. No issues there. I will say that with controller, the aim assist does seem to be in full effect this time around, though. Like, I saw so many kill cams where somebody would kill me, and I'm like, I can clear as day tell they're using a controller because of how slow their movement is, but then it just locks onto me the entire time they're ADSing, and it looks like a robot took over. So, kind of hope they tweak that a little bit, because it's kind of BS going against players like that, but I get it, you know? If you got crossplay on, you're going against PC players, you're already at a disadvantage with the controller, so I do understand it. But, yeah, it sometimes can get egregious with how crazy that aim assist is. It was also really fun playing old classic game modes like Search and Destroy on these old maps, just remastered. I literally felt like I was back in high school again. It was really a cool experience, and I had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, there is complaints that I have with the beta so far that I hope gets addressed in the final game. But all around, this was the most fun I've had in a Call of Duty in the past like 5 years, easily. And I did get to play with a couple of friends as well, but even playing solos, I still had a really good time. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than just I enjoyed it. I have not pre-ordered it though. I am going to wait at least a week because, again, I have been burned way too many times these past few years with Call of Duty that I just don't trust it anymore to like tell me, yes, the beta was fun, but that does not tell me that the game is going to be great at launch. So I'm going to be waiting. What do you guys think in the comment section below? Are you going to be picking this up? Have you already pre-ordered it? Or are you going to be like me, you're going to wait a couple weeks after launch to really see how it's changed, how it's feeling to most people before you put your money into it? Because I was on the train of like, I was fine with them skipping a year. This was supposed to be the buy year, basically, like no Call of Duty release. And then next year was going to be a new Black Ops. They're still making a new Black Ops. It's coming next year, but they, for some reason, decided not to skip this year. And Sledgehammer Games was throwing this at them to say, hey, basically make a remake of Modern Warfare 2. But we're just going to call it MW3. So, I don't know, man. I have really low like expectations going into this. I don't think it's going to be amazing or breathtaking or, you know, blowing me away. But if the game launches like it feels right now in the beta, and it's exactly how this is right now, I can see myself buying it because it is fun. I had a good time with it, and I didn't have really many complaints. Whereas Modern Warfare 2, when that came out last year, I had 20 hours of complaints and like 10 good things about it that I could say. So, I don't know, man. I wish I could say I'm excited for it, but it's one of those things where I'm just more scared than not. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening to my ramble of my slight review of the beta. And I hope you guys leave a like, share, support. As always, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Peace out, everyone. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. Before we head out, I want to give a huge special thank you to our channel members. These are amazing people who are wanting to support the channel and the content here. And if you want to do the same, you can click the little join button underneath every single new upload. And in becoming a channel member not only supports me and the channel, but also gives you a ton of perks in doing so, including early access to new content and being a part of exclusive polls and information that other people would not be able to access. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you again so much for the love and support, and we'll hopefully see you in the next one. Peace out.